spherical mirrors. So let's take it is a spherical object. So here I am taking it as a spherical mirror. So inside the viewing of this object from inside, right? So it looks like a cave. So the inner side is called a concave mirror. That means the inner side is acting as a reflecting surface. If the inner side is acting as a reflecting surface, then it is called a concave mirror. If the outer side is acting as a reflecting surface, then it is nothing but a convex mirror. So the best example you can observe it here, like from a spoon. The spoon inner side acts as a concave. The outer side acts as a convex, right? So based upon this, some terms which are related to this spherical mirrors. Let's see what are the terms. So here I am taking that concave, right? Here the spherical mirror I am taking to explain is the concave mirror. So here I am taking both concave and convex mirrors. So it is the concave mirror. So inner side is the reflecting surface. It is the convex mirror. Outer side is the reflecting surface, right? So here we are considering only half of the part, right? These are the spherical mirrors. So some terms I already said that some terms related to this. So the first one is pole. The first term it is about pole. So pole is nothing but the point on the mirror at the middle of the surface. At the middle of the surface, the point, you can take any point at the middle of the surface, and that point is nothing but pole of the mirror, and it is also nothing but optical center. Again repeating, the point on the mirror at the middle of the surface is nothing but a pole, and it is also nothing but optical center. Next one is center of curvature, right? So it is the complete sphere. It is denoted by P and it is denoted by C. So center of curvature, you can observe it here. It is located exactly at the center of the sphere, right? So the center of the sphere of the mirror is a part. So the mirror is the part of this center, and it is nothing but center of curvature. And next one is radius of curvature. Denoted by R. So radius. So radius is nothing but the distance between the center of curvature and the pole. From center of curvature to pole. Imagine it is a circle. The center point of the circle to any point on the circle is nothing but radius. So the distance from center of the curvature to pole. On any point we call it as, in this mirror we call it as a pole, and center point we call it as a center of curvature. So the distance from center of curvature to pole is nothing but radius of curvature, denoted by capital R. Clear? Next, principal axis. Principal axis. So principal axis is nothing but the line which is joining the pole and the center of curvature. Right? The line joining the pole and center of curvature is nothing but a principal axis. Clear? Next one, aperture. So aperture is nothing but the diameter of the complete sphere of the mirror from one of the pole to another end of the pole through the center of curvature, right? So it is a circle. The complete line which is passing through the center point we call it as a diameter. Here the diameter is nothing but aperture. The diameter of the enclosed circular portion, the complete circular portion having the diameter is nothing but aperture. Clear? And next one is normal line or normal ray. So normal ray is nothing but the line joining the point of incidence. So it is the point of incidence in the case of concave mirror, and it is the point of incidence in the case of convex mirror, right? So the line joining the point of incidence and the center of curvature, this one, right? So if you extended this from here to here at the particular point of incidence, it is a point of incidence. Here the center of curvature here. If the line is drawn from point of incidence to the center of curvature, it is nothing but normal lines. What is a normal line? The line which is perpendicular to the surface, right? So it is the surface. At this point, the line perpendicular is from C to the point of incidence, right? The same way, point of incidence to C. From here also, point of incidence to C, point of incidence to C, point of incidence to C, right? And the line from point of incidence to center of curvature, if you draw a line, and that line is nothing but normal line. Clear? Next one is principal focus, or simply we call it as focus F. So if you observe it here, in the case of concave mirror, all the lines, it is the principal focus, it is the incident ray. Whenever the incident ray strikes on the mirror, in the case of concave mirror, after reflecting, the rays are meet at a point. In the case of concave mirror, right? The rays which meets after reflection at a point is nothing but principal focus in the case of concave mirror. So when in the case of convex mirror, whenever the rays fall on the convex mirror, right, the rays gets reflected. These reflected rays are appears to come at a point, right? These reflected rays are appears to come and meet at a point, and these imaginary point is nothing but principal focus in the case of convex mirror. Again repeating, in the case of concave mirror, the light, the reflected rays meet at a point. In the case of concave mirror, so at that point is nothing but principal focus. In the case of convex mirror, after reflection, whenever the incident ray touches the mirror, the rays gets reflected. So if we draw a straight line, right, towards the mirror to all the reflected rays, these reflected rays are appears to meet at a particular point, and this particular point is nothing but focus, right? This focus is located on principal axis. This focus is situated on the principal axis, and it is denoted by F. Clear? Next, focal length. Next one is focal length, denoted by small f. So focal length is nothing but the distance from principal focus to pole or principal focus to center of curvature. Anyways, we can take that. This distance from principal focus to pole or distance from center of curvature to principal focus is nothing but F. That is nothing but focal length. It is denoted by small f. So from this we can say that radius of curvature r from center of curvature to principal focus is r. Again, center of curvature to principal focus is nothing but small f, that is focal length. The distance from center of curvature to principal focus is focal length. Again, this r can be defined as, denoted as cf plus fp. Center of curvature to principal focus plus principal focus to pole. Center of curvature to principal focus is focal length plus principal focus to pole is also focal length. So r is equal to f plus f. So r is equal to 2f, f is equal to r by 2. Important. So radius of curvature r is equal to 2f. That means c to capital F is small f, f to p is f, f plus f 2f. So radius of curvature is equal to 2 times of focal length. Then focal length is equal to r by 2. So we will get the problem based upon that. So next one, it is paraxial rays. Paraxial rays. So paraxial rays are nothing but parallel, right? The rays which are closer to the principal axis. It is the principal axis. To this principal axis, what are the rays which are very closer to the principal axis? Those rays we call as a paraxial rays. Next, marginal rays. So paraxial rays are nothing but the rays which are very closer to the principal axis, and the rays which are away from the principal axis are nothing but marginal rays. Near to the principal axis, the rays near to the principal axis are nothing but paraxial. The rays away from the principal axis are nothing but marginal rays. So these are the some terms which are related to this spherical mirror. So the differences between concave mirror and convex mirror, in that first one is, so in the case of concave mirror, the silvering the outer surface. So that means coating the outer surface and the inner surface acts as a reflecting surface, like this. So for this, the reflections will be from the inner side of the mirror. So silvering the inner side and outer side acts as a reflecting surface, which means, so for this mirror, the inner side is coated with some coating and the outer side acts as a reflecting surface. Right? So outer side acts as a reflecting surface. Next, second point. So here, after reflection, whenever the light rays falls on the object, so after reflection, so all the light rays are meet at a point. So those rays are nothing but convergent rays. So these convergent rays are nothing but after reflection, the reflected rays are meet at a point, so that we can get the brightest spot. So those rays are nothing but convergent rays. So concave mirror is acts as a converging mirror, whereas in the case of convex mirror, so whenever the light falls on this convex mirror, so after reflection the rays are diverging in different directions. So concave mirror acts as a convergent beam of light and convex mirror acts as a diverging beam of light. That means the rays travels in different directions in the case of convex mirror, and the rays are meet at a particular point in the case of concave mirror. So as I already said that we can get the real images with the help of this concave mirror, but also we can also get that virtual images. So we can get real or virtual images, that is depending upon the position of the object which we placed. So mostly for the concave mirror we can get that real images, that means inverted images, right? And also that sometimes we can get the virtual image. So the image will be real or virtual, that is depending upon the position of the object. So the image we got in the case of convex mirror is always virtual, that is which is not a real image. So in the case of images, the image can be magnified, that means bigger than the actual size of the object, or diminished or smaller than the actual size of the object, or same size, that is same size of the object. So the image size can be magnified, diminished, or we can get the same size. So that is also depending upon the position of the object, right? We can get the real or virtual images, and the size of the images, that is magnified, virtual, diminished or same size, that is also depending upon the position of the object which we placed. And so in the case of this convex mirror, we can get the image which is always diminished image, that is the image is always smaller in size than the actual object. So these are the major differences between that concave mirror and convex mirrors, right?